The wind didn't just pass through the town, it stayed. It moved through empty streets, through broken doors, through places where voices used to live. Now there was nothing except one man. At the edge of the street he sat in the same wooden chair every single day, hat low, eyes quiet, like he was watching something no one else could see. His name was Elias, and he never left. But this town wasn't always like this. There was a time when laughter filled the air, when boots echoed on busy roads, when children ran freely without fear. There was life here, real life. And there was someone else. Her name was Clara. She wasn't the loudest voice in town, but somehow everyone listened when she spoke. She had a way of making things feel okay, even when they weren't. She worked in the small clinic, helping anyone who came through the door. Day or night, rain or heat, she was always there. And somehow Elias always found himself nearby. They didn't talk much. They didn't need to. Sometimes silence says more than words ever could, and with her, that silence felt peaceful. One evening, as the sun dipped low across the sky, Clara said something Elias would never forget. If everyone leaves this town someday, someone has to stay. Elias frowned. Why? She looked out at the horizon like she already knew the answer. Because memories don't survive on their own. Then she turned to Elias. Promise me you won't leave? Elias didn't answer right away. He thought about it just for a moment. Then he nodded. I promise. And that's when everything began to change. The rain stopped coming. The ground cracked. The crops died. And the town began to struggle. Then came the sickness. People grew weak, coughing, tired. The clinic filled up fast, too fast. Clara worked harder than ever. Day after day, night after night, she didn't stop, even when she should have. Families began to leave. Wagons rolled out of town, one after another. People said they'd return, but deep down they knew they wouldn't. Elias watched them go. Friends, neighbors, faces he had known for years, all disappearing into the distance. But he stayed, because he made a promise. One evening, Clara came to him. She looked different, still strong, but tired in a way that didn't fade. You should leave, she told him. Elias shook his head. No. She smiled a little. I knew you'd say that. Then she told him the truth. The sickness had reached her. Elias didn't speak. He couldn't. Some pain doesn't come out as words. So instead, he reached for her hand. And this time, she held on. They sat there together as the sun slowly disappeared. No words, just time slipping away. By morning, she was gone. Peaceful. Still, gone. The town felt emptier than ever before. Even the wind sounded different. Days passed, then weeks, then longer. The town became nothing but memory. But Elias, he stayed. Sometimes travelers came through. They'd look around, confused. Then they'd ask him, "Why are you still here?" And he'd say, "Someone has to remember." Then one night the sky broke open. Rain poured down. Wind howled through the buildings. The town shook like it was waking up again. And Elias, he didn't move. He let the rain fall over him, because for the first time in a long time, it didn't feel empty anymore. Through the storm, he could almost hear it. Laughter, voices, her voice. Memories don't survive on their own. When morning came, the storm was gone, and the town looked different. Still broken, still quiet, but somehow not lost. Elias stood up, for the first time in a long while, and he walked. He stepped into the clinic, the place she never left, and there he found something, a letter with his name on it. If you're reading this, you stayed. I knew you would. But don't stay forever. Memories matter, but the living do too. When you're ready, go. Clara. Elias stood there, holding those words, feeling something change. The promise wasn't over, it had just grown. So he packed what little he had, walked back to the road, and looked at the town one last time, not with sadness, but with meaning. Then he stepped forward. The wind still moved through the town, but now it didn't feel empty. It felt like a story, and Elias carried it with him. Some places don't disappear. They live on in the people who remember them. If this story meant something to you, tell me what part touched you the most. And if you want more stories like this, don't forget to subscribe and stay with us for the next journey.